Mary. Welcome to Photocracy Yoga Group, week number 4. Today, well, this season, in New York at least, is allergy season. It's spring, it's beautiful out, but allergies are in full bloom. So today we're going to make it all about the chest and heart openers, opening up the throats, stimulating the lymphatic system to help to ward off allergies and help all of us to breathe and feel a little bit better so we can get outside and actually enjoy the warm weather a little bit. So, you're definitely going to need your 2 blocks today, so make sure that you have those handy. We're actually going to start off on those blocks in a pose called restorative fish position. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your blocks. You're going to take, they have the 3 levels, the lowest, the medium, and then the highest level. The first one's going to go in the lowest level, lengthwise on your mat. That one's going to catch right between your shoulder blades. Second block is going to be on the second height, and that one's going to catch your head. So the layout looks something like I have here. When you go down onto them, you're going to have a little seat. You're going to lean back and allow that lowest block right between your shoulder blades. So make sure that the bottom of it's right alongside the rib cage, and then it goes up from there. You don't want it too low or in the middle back. And the other block is just going to be comfortably placed underneath the head. And this should feel really nice and relaxing once you get down into it. You feel the shoulders just melting open. And then it's up to you with the legs. You can either keep your feet planted on the floor, you can stretch your legs all the way straight, or you can bring the bottoms of your feet together, let the knees open out to the side. That's my personal favorite. And then from here, just take a second, just let the body just melt into the blocks. Let your eyes close. Just take a second here just to arrive on the mat. To patiently let the breath slow down. And just to start to soften all the muscles in the body. So allow the body to completely be supported by the blocks. Feel the shoulders just melting open, molding around the blocks. The head becomes a little heavier. And then wherever your legs are, see if they can be there with ease. So it takes no tension or muscle to hold the legs where they are. You're just really letting go, melting into gravity. And just take a moment and see if the only thing you can be aware of is your breath. Each inhale, and each exhale. Use this time to center your focus. Maybe to set an intention, dedicating your efforts on the mat to something greater than you. Take about 3 more long, full rounds of breath here. You're gently going to bring the knees together. Wherever your legs have traveled, just come back to a place where the feet are planted, the knees point to the ceiling. And then very carefully, you're going to roll over onto your right side, rolling off of the blocks and finding a fetal position. So just be very gentle as you roll off the blocks. Hug your knees into your chest, round into a tiny ball. Take a moment in this position just to breathe into the back. To pull the knees in a little closer to the chest and really round into that space in the back that was just arched. Very gently make your way all the way up to a seat. Slide those blocks away and just set them off to the side of your mat. Cross your ankles, sit up nice and tall, circle your shoulders a few times. Should feel a little bit freer now. then gently just drop your head over to the right. Take the right hand overhead. Reach your left arm long, spreading your fingers nice and wide. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, reach the left ear and shoulder in opposite directions. Allow the right hand to drop off of the head. Take a huge side stretch all the way over to the right. Now, if when you do this, that left hip comes with you, use the strength of the right arm to press the hip back down into the floor as you reach away. Then start to peel the chest open, lean back. Circle through this diagonal space until you come forward, and then one vertebrae at a time, roll all the way back up to sit. Sitting nice and tall, drop your head to the left, take the left hand overhead. Reach the right arm long. Sit up as tall as you can and then melt both shoulders away from the ears. Allow the left hand to drop off the head over onto the floor. Take a big side bend all the way over to the left. Again, feel the weight of the left or the right sit bone as it presses down into the floor. Roll the chest open and reach through the fingers even more. Reach through that diagonal space until you round forward. Drop your head and then roll all the way up to sit. Bring the fingertips to the floor back behind you. Slide the shoulders together. Lift the chest. Open up all the way through the lungs, all the way through the throat. Breathe as deeply as you can. And either stay right here or press into the hands a little bit more. Roll forward onto your shins. Squeeze your hips off the mat and forward. You're going to get a nice stretch through the tops of the hips here. And gently set back down. And carry your legs around behind you, coming to all fours, hands and knees. Spread your fingers, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and start to move through cat-cow. Inhaling, the belly drops, the heart pulls forward and up. Exhale, press the floor away, round the spine into cat. Inhale, cow pose, open the chest. Exhale, round. Continue on your own. You're welcome to continue just forward and back, just through traditional cat-cow. If you would like to get a little bit more fun with it, start to circle the hips, the ribs. You can move the head around. You can bend the elbows if you want. Move the hips forward and back. Just start to really explore the space in the body. Take 3 more rounds of breath to move however you would like to move here. And come back to a neutral spine. Bring your big toes together, sitting back into child's pose. Activate down through the fingers as you press weight back into the hips like you were trying to slide the mat away from you forward. Take a big breath in deep into the low back. As you exhale, sitting back onto your heels, roll all the way up one vertebrae at a time. Allow the fingers to trace down on the floor behind you. Squeeze the shoulders, lift your chest. Take a breath here, open the heart. Exhale from the center of your chest, fold forward over the legs. Allow the head and shoulders to round forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, roll it all the way up. Fingertips to the floor. Slide the shoulders together. Open your heart, breathing in. Exhale from the center of your chest. Pull forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, roll up. The head just drapes behind. This time, stay with what you're doing, or if you want to go further, press into the fingers, squeeze your hips up, lift the chest. And then just continue as usual. Sit back onto your heels. Fold forward. Again, take a breath in as the forehead taps. Exhale, roll it all the way up. Hips stay down or they lift. Take one more round all the way up and down. Next time you fold forward into child's pose, stay there. Walk your hands back forward to the top of the mat. Keep your hips on your heels And walk your fingertips forward. Spread the fingers wide, draw the shoulders down, breathe deep into the side body. Walk your fingertips forward 1 more inch. Spread the fingers, draw the shoulders down. And you're going to lift your gaze up towards your thumbs. Keeping your chest as close to the mat as you can, you're going to dive all the way forward onto your belly. Fingers are spread wide and heavy into the mat. Center of the chest pulls first. Dive all the way forward. Slide your hips down, lift your heart. Release your forehead to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, let it go. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Using the strength of the core, press up to all fours. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Move into it with soft knees. Slowly start to straighten your legs and then pedal out through your feet. Just allow the hips to shift from side to side. Feel the weight of the fingers. And then gently come to stillness. Allow both heels to settle down towards the floor. Soften your knees just slightly. Slide your tailbone higher and press back through your torso. Full, easy, long breath. On your next inhale, lift your heels high. Scoop your tailbone under so the hips roll underneath of you. One vertebrae at a time, roll forward to a plank. As you exhale, press through the hands, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels round. Really try to articulate through each and every vertebrae as you come forward. Downward dog, press back. 2 more times, option to go further. Either stick with what we did, or same thing to start. Inhale, roll forward. This time, drop your hips, lift your chest. From there, strength of the core presses you back, downward dog. 1 more time, lift your heels. Scoop your tailbone round forward, just to plank or all the way to upward dog. Roll the chest up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, press back. Exhale, touch your right tricep. Press it back. Exhale, across to the left. Inhale, press it back. Step the foot forward between your hands as far as you can. If it only comes part way, grab it with the hand and move it the rest of the way. On your fingertips, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, your right arm lifts, twist. Reach back through your back heel. Reach that right arm alongside your ear. Stretch even further. Circle the hand all the way down to the floor and step your back foot in. Soften your knees, roll up to stand. Inhale, your arms reach around and up. Exhale, dive forward over your legs. Lengthen Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Hands press into the shins if that helps for you to find that length through the upper back. So we aren't here, it's here. Step your left foot back behind you. Left knee down to the floor. Lift your arms alongside your ears. Slide your hands down, interlace your fingers at the back of the skull. Open the elbows wide, lift the belly and lean back. Keep lifting the navel up towards the ceiling so the belly stays engaged, the back stays protected. Sink the hips forward, open your elbows more, lean back even a little further. Nothing changes, but the arms reach long. Right hand comes to the floor outside your right foot. Left arm rolls open to the ceiling. Now right here, I want you to actively press the right knee into the right bicep and roll your chest open further. Left arm reaches alongside the ear to come to the floor, downward facing dog. Step all the way back. Inhale, roll forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Slide onto your belly, lift your heart, baby cobra. Release the forehead to the floor. Slide your hands back 1 inch. Roll the shoulders back, elbows towards the hips. Press all the way into the hands, lift all the way up. Lift the thighs, upward dog. Downward dog, press back. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Squeeze it in, round your spine. Inhale, press. Touch your left tricep as you exhale. Inhale, press back. Take it across to the right. Press it back. Step the foot forward between your hands. Step it as far as you can. If it only comes part way, use that left hand to help get it the rest of the way up. On your fingertips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lift your left arm, twist. Reach that back heel back more, roll the chest open. Reach that left arm alongside your ear. Reach the entire top side of the body longer, and then roll your left belly to the sky. Circle that hand all the way down to the floor. Step your back foot in. Drop your head, roll up to stand. Inhale, your arms reach up. Exhale, dive forward. Soft knees lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. And then you're going to step your right leg back behind you really far. Drop that knee down to the floor, lift your arms. Again, take your hands, interlace them at the back of the head. Open the elbows, lift up, and then lean back. Again, every time we go into a back bend here, which we're going to do quite a bit today, think of up and then back. So it's never getting shorter as you go back. It's always lifting and leaning. If you think of a straw that's compressed, lengthening it out and then opening it up. Open your elbows. Take a breath in. As you exhale, reach the arms long, reaching the fingertips through space. Left hand comes to the floor outside your left foot. Right arm rolls open to the ceiling. I'm actively pressing my left knee into my left bicep, and from that action, pressing open, I'm rolling the chest away from it. Circle that arm all the way down to the floor. Downward facing dog, make your way back. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Untuck your toes, slide onto your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Slide your hands back 1 inch, roll the shoulders back, press all the way up, upward dog. Thighs are off the mat, chest is high, throat is open. Downward dog, press back. Breathe. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. Imagine the inner thighs rolling together and pressing back behind you. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, look forward as you exhale. Step, walk, or lightly jump your feet to the top of the mat. Lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale, let it go. Reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now you're going to hook your thumbs, soften your knees, reach the arms forward, lift up, and lean back, taking a nice, huge stretch open at the top. As you exhale, release your thumbs, sweep forward, grab the fists behind you. Take a shoulder stretch, shoulders roll open, head drops. Let your hands lift. Keep your knees soft here, your head heavy. Keep the palms together, so you're squeezing the heel of the hands together, and then lift those hands a little higher. Soften your elbows, bring your hands down to the floor, lengthen the spine. Step your left foot back behind you. Right here, squeeze your inner thighs together, right heel presses down, lift your arms, high lunge. Interlace the fingers behind your head, open the elbows. Lift up and lean back. Now, if the balance feels a little unsteady here, keep your gaze forward, but you can still, from the belly, lean back. So you're still getting the stretch through that left hip. If the balance feels okay, bend your front knee deeper and take your gaze to the sky. Reach your arms alongside your ears, bring the gaze forward. Sweep your hands all the way down to the floor and lift your back leg, your left leg up behind you for standing split. Keep this front knee soft. And if the floor feels far away, then you have your blocks right under your hands. That's fine. Drop your chest over your right thigh. Lift your left leg a little higher behind you. Soften your front knee. Take a big step back, low lunge. Press into the palms, downward facing dog, step back. Either stay here, moving through a vinyasa. Inhale, roll forward. Knees, chest, chin if you would like, or chaturanga. Your choice of a back bend here, roll the heart high. Downward dog, pressing back. Inhale, your right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, press back. Exhale, touch your right tricep. Inhale, press back. Exhale, across to your left. Press back. Step the foot forward between your hands. Lengthen the spine flat back. And then lift your hands to prayer. Press the hands into one another. Squeeze the shoulders together. Lengthen the sides of your neck. Take a breath in. As you exhale, warrior three, shift the weight forward. The back leg lifts off the floor. Again, if this is too much, bring blocks under your hands and do a supported variation for balance. Reach the top of the head and the back heel in opposite directions so the entire body becomes longer. 2 more breaths. Your next pose is chair pose. Land the left foot. Sit your hips down, lift your arms. Squeeze your inner thighs together, sit a little bit lower, reach the fingers, lift the chest. 2 breaths. Instead of that tailbone going back behind you, can you slide it down towards the floor? Feel the abdominals engage. Exhale, drop over your legs. Shake it out. Soften your knees, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let it go. Reach your arms around, come to stand. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment, just breathe. Feel the body long and strong. Feel the energy that you started to create in the body. Maybe the heart is moving a little faster. Blood flowing. Just take a moment to acknowledge the life in your body, the vibrance of your being. On your next inhale, open your eyes, hook your thumbs, soften your knees, reach forward and up, lean back. As you exhale, circle the arms open, grab the fists together, shoulder stretch as you dive forward. Head is heavy. Palms are together, shoulders away from the ears, and then lift the hands a little higher. Keep your knees soft, your belly long. Bring your hands down to the floor, softening your elbows first. Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen flat back. Step your right leg back behind you really far. Right away, inner thighs squeeze, so there's a buoyancy, a lift from under your hips. From there, lift your arms alongside your ears, Alanasana, high lunge. Interlace the fingers behind your head, open the elbows. Lift up to lean back. And again, gaze stays forward if the balance feels a little bit not great. If it feels great, bend that front knee really deep and look up, trying to look back behind you, really expanding through space. Reach your arms alongside your ears, find length through the sides of your waist. Hands come all the way down to the floor. Walk your hands a little forward, lengthen the spine, standing split, your right leg lifts back behind you. Blocks under your hands is fine. Wherever you are, instead of opening the chest this time, let it drop. Forward folding over that left leg. Lift your right leg a little higher, trying to keep your hips square. So instead of the hips opening nice and wide, keep that hip dropped as you lift that leg a little higher. Breathe. Shake your head a little. Soften the front knee, take a big step back. Press your palms into the floor, downward facing dog, step back. Either stay here or moving through a vinyasa, inhale forward. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, open your chest. Downward dog, press back. Inhale, your left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, press back. Exhale, touch your left tricep. Press back. Exhale, your right. Press back. Step the foot forward between your hands. Make the back leg really strong behind you. Come to your fingertips, lengthen the spine, open your heart space. Bring your hands together. Take a moment here to lengthen the spine, shoulders roll together. Take a breath in. As you exhale, warrior three, lift your back leg behind you. Soften your gaze. Soften your jaw. Soften your mind. Let the thoughts go. Two more breaths. Land that foot. Utkatasana, chair pose. Sit down nice and low. Lift your arms. Sit a little bit lower. Lift your chest a little bit higher. One more breath. Exhale, fold over your legs. Let it go. Soften your knees and roll up to stand. Inhale, reach your arms around and up. Exhale, take your hands around behind you. Place them on the tops of your hips, like you had your hands in your back jeans pockets. Squeeze your elbows together so that your elbows disappear behind you, your shoulders open. Use the hands to lengthen the tailbone towards the floor. That, in turn, is going to lift the front of the pelvis up and help engage the abdominals. Start to lift the chest towards the ceiling. Now you may stay here. You may get a little bit more extension through the upper spine. You may walk your hands down your legs to your hamstrings. Keep rolling the shoulders together. Keep the abdominals lifted so the lower back is long. You're not collapsing into the lower back. You're keeping length. Lifting up to lean back. Two more breaths. One more. Bring the gaze forward. Reach your arms around and up. Exhale, soft knees dive forward. Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Hands onto the floor. Step, walk, or lightly jump your way back through your vinyasa. So you can step back, take knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to your back bend. You can jump straight back to chaturanga, or you can step straight back to downward dog. From downward dog, your right leg lifts up. Now, we've been keeping square hips so far this class. This time I want you to open the hips. So you're going to roll the right hip on top of the left. Keep that leg lifting all the way up. And then bend the right knee. Let that foot just kind of fall. Spread your right fingers into the floor. Press your inner thighs back behind you. Getting a huge stretch through the right side of the body. Straighten the right leg. Now come back to square hips. It helps to pull your left hip back as you re-square off the pelvis to the floor. Step the foot forward between your hands. Warrior two, back heel down. Cartwheel your arms open. Flying warrior, straighten your front leg, lift your arms. Exhale, warrior two, bend, reach long. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Keep that back leg really strong, the front leg really bent. Challenge yourself here. Flip your front palm, reach forward, stretch back, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Bring the right forearm onto the thigh, the left arm alongside your ear. Inhale, reversing back right away. Legs don't move at all. You're moving from the core. Exhale, side angle. One more time, inhale back. Exhale, side angle. Now we have about 5 breaths. You can stay here. You would like to go further, take that hand down to a block or to the floor. Roll the chest open, bend the front knee deeper, and reach longer through that top arm. One more breath. Look down. Hands come to the floor inside of your right foot. If you need to open that right foot over to the right a little, that's fine. On your fingertips, open the chest. As you exhale, straighten your front leg, stretch back. Inhale, bend your knee, open the chest. Exhale, stretch. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back forward, bend that front knee. Drop your back knee, untuck the toes. I'm going to turn to face you guys. You stay where you are. Keep sinking your hips forward. Turn your right toes out. Bring the right hand onto the right thigh, open the chest. Now instead of letting all the weight go over to the left away from it, send the weight into that hip. Lean the shoulders back. Now you stay here. I'm going to turn back to the side. You can either stay right where you are and reach your right arm back behind you like this. Or if you would like to go for a hip stretch, bend your back knee, hold on to that foot. You may need to shift your hips back in order to catch that foot and then come back forward. Now, if this is a lot of pressure on that left knee, feel free to grab a blanket, a pillow, anything soft, and place it underneath that knee to give yourself a little extra cushion. Now, I want you to focus on the shoulder rolling open. Whether you have the foot or you don't, that right shoulder rolls open more. Your hips sink forward more, and your shoulders just gently lean back, opening the heart. If you have the foot, let it go. Bring your hand up and overhead and down to the floor. Tuck your toes behind you, lift your back knee. Press into your palms, step back to a plank. As you inhale, you're going to drop your hips to the floor, lift your heart to the ceiling. As you exhale, navel lifts to the spine, come back to plank. Inhale, drop your hips, lift your heart. Exhale, plank. Wrap your triceps under you as you drop your hips and lift. Exhale, plank one more time. Inhale, lower. Exhale, plank. Take a breath in. As you exhale, knees lifted or down, you're going to lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck your toes. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. Roll the shoulders open, reach the arms back. Lifting up for Shalambhasana, locust pose. Lift your heart a little higher, lift your legs. Bring your big toes together. Now right here, I want you to engage your abdominals, trying to lift your belly button off of the mat. It's not going to, but think about it. Pull the chest open, lift a little higher. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Gently let it go. Release your hands. Turn one cheek to the floor and just let your hips shake from side to side. You're just releasing any tension in the low back. It's just a really subtle low back release. And then take a moment here just to lay, just to rest, just to feel the body supported. See if you can breathe into your low back. See if you can expand that low back space wide as you breathe. Turn your face back down. Hands underneath of your shoulders. Roll the shoulders back all the way up. Either baby cobra or all the way up to upward facing dog. Take a breath in. Downward dog, press back. From downward dog, take a few deep breaths here. Spreading the fingers, spreading the toes, rolling the tailbone to the ceiling. Deep breaths. Breathing deep down into the low belly, the low back. And exhaling completely. On your next inhale, the left leg is going to lift up behind you. Start with square hips, and then roll that left hip open, stacking it on top of the right. Keep lifting the left leg into a full split. Bend that left knee in the air so it drops back behind you. Press back through the hands, lengthening the spine. And then try to press your right heel down to the floor, making sure that it's hidden behind the ball of the foot. Stretch your left leg straight. Square your hips off. Roll the outer left hip down. Pull your right outer hip back. Step the foot forward between your hands. Coming up, warrior 2. Drop your back heel down. Cartwheel your arms all the way open. Stay right where you are. I'm just going to turn to face you. In warrior 2, front leg is really bent, back leg is straight. Flying warrior, inhale, straighten your front leg, lift. Exhale, warrior 2, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Stay low in the legs, flip the front palm, reverse warrior, stretch back. Exhale, side angle, bring it forward. Staying low in the legs, staying long in the waist. Inhale, carry back. Exhale, stretch. One more time, inhale, go further, reverse. Exhale, side angle to stay. Now either stay here or to go further. Bring that hand down to a block or the floor. If you're taking a block, it'll look just like this. Making sure that left knee is opening over the second and third toe. Roll the chest open, press your hips forward and breathe. Lengthen the sides of the neck. One more breath. Look down. Bring your hands to the floor inside your front foot. Lift your back heel. Heel toe that left foot open if you need. On your fingertips, open the chest. As you exhale, stretch back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, long stretch back. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back forward. This time, drop the back knee, untuck the back toes, and sink your hips forward. Turn the left toes out, allow the left knee to drape open. Now either stay right here, or reach your left arm back behind you, peeling the chest open. I'm going to turn around the other side so you can see a different angle. Keep the hip sinking forward, and instead of just reaching back with the arm and keeping the shoulder facing forward, roll the shoulder open this time. Reach back even more. Either stay here, bend the back knee, reach back holding on to the foot. And again, if you need to slide the hips back out of the stretch just slightly, that's fine. Wherever you are, focus on the left shoulder rolling back. The hips sinking forward. One more breath. And then release down. Bring the hands to the floor. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee, stepping back to a plank. From here, as you inhale, lower your hips towards the mat. Wrap the triceps back behind you. Pull the chest forward. Exhale, back to plank. 3 more. Inhale. Strength of the core, plank. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Pull the chest forward. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Take a breath in. As you exhale, either knees down or lifted, lower slowly all the way to the mat. This time, bend both knees. Reach back, hold onto the outsides of both of your ankles. Keeping your knees close together, they don't have to touch, but about hip distance apart. We're going to lift into Dhanurasana bow pose. First action here is to start to kick the feet back away from you. As you kick the feet away, the chest is going to start to lift, the shoulders are going to start to roll open. From there, once you kick back as far as you can, start to lift the thighs off the mat. As you lift the thighs, the heels lift to the ceiling, the chest lifts higher. Keep the chin tucked so the back of the neck is long. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Kick back a little more. Last one. And then let it go. Release the hands. Keep the knees bent and let your feet just fall from side to side. Stretch your legs long. With the hands under the shoulders, use the strength of the core to lift. You're going to lift up to all fours. And then not sitting into child's pose, you're just going to sit back on your heels. So we're going to stick with this back bending theme for another minute or two. So we want to resist that urge to forward fold in between. So we keep the back open, and then we'll go into our forward folding sequences after. So we're going to take Ustrasana, camel pose. If you have sensitive knees, bring a blanket, pillow, or something underneath of your knees just to pad them a little bit, because we're going to be standing on the knees. Or, simpler alternative, you're going to take the mat, and you can just double fold it, creating a little extra cushion here. So, coming up to stand on the knees, you're going to start with your toes tucked under behind you, pressing your hips forward. Take your hands onto your low back, right on top of the tush, kind of like your hands were in your jeans pockets like we did when we were standing. From here, squeeze the shoulders together behind you so the elbows point straight back. Use the hands to lengthen the tailbone towards the floor. As you do that, you're going to feel the hip bones in the front of the body lift, and you're going to get a little bit more core stability to protect the low back. That's very important here. So, as with all back bending, think lengthen, not crunch, not shorten, not get smaller. Get longer as you open. So, tailbone lengthens down, elbows squeeze together. Start to roll your heart open to the ceiling. Lengthening the top of the head back behind you, pressing your hips forward. Breathe. Now either you stay here, this is fine. You can also walk your hands down your hamstrings to go a little deeper, Or if you would like, you can walk your hands onto your heels. Wherever you are, continue to press your hips forward. Continue to lift your heart up. Roll the shoulders open and breathe as deeply as you can. Gently bring the gaze forward. Bring your hands onto your hips and come all the way back up. Take a moment to sit back on your heels. Keep your toes tucked under. We're going to take a nice little stretch on the underneath sides of the feet here. It can be a little bit of an intense stretch for some. So if it's too much, just bring the weight a little bit forward onto the hands. But it's really nice to open up the bottoms of the feet to stretch out all the fascia underneath. We're going to take one more variation of Ustrasana from here. You're welcome to stick with the variation that you tried the first time. If you would like to go deeper, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to come back up onto the knees. Bring the hands to the low back, hug the shoulder blades together. Lengthen your tailbone down, lift the chest. Going into it the same way as before, start to lean the shoulders back as the hips press forward. You're welcome to stay here, focus on the shoulders squeezing together. You're welcome to walk your hands down your hamstrings. You're welcome to walk your hands onto your heels. If you would like to go further, you're going to untuck your toes. This is going to move the feet about 3 to 5 inches away from you. As you walk your hands down, you'll feel the heels further away than before. Continue all those same actions. The hip press forward, the chest rolls open. If your hands are on your feet, bring your fingertips to the insides of your heels and press outward on your heels as the heels hug in towards one another. 3 breaths. One more. Bring your gaze forward. Climb your hands onto your hips. Slowly come all the way up. Now sitting into child's pose, it's going to feel really nice. Sit back onto your heels. Move anything out from underneath of your knees and stretch forward. You can kind of nestle your rib cage between your thighs. Use the hands to press the hips back and breathe deep into the back space. Slowly, we're going to make our way back into downward dog. You're welcome to just lift and press back. You're welcome to take a vinyasa as you move there if you would like, using the breath, exhaling as you lower, inhaling as you open into your back bend. Exhale, downward dog, press back. As you inhale, your right leg lifts behind you. Open up the hip as high as you can and bend the knee. You're welcome to stay here. Focus on pressing your hips back. You're welcome to come onto the right fingertips. Look up underneath the right armpit and roll open a little more. Or you're going to take it all the way upside down into rock star pose. Taking that foot all the way over to the left side of the mat, rolling the hips, chest open to the ceiling. Reach long through that top arm. Three-legged downward dog. Come back around. Right leg is high. We're going to come forward for pigeon pose. Bring your knee to your nose. Open the knee to the right and place the shin on the floor. You're going to wiggle that left leg back behind you, placing the left midline of the thigh onto the mat. Now the right knee is wider than the right wrist was when you were in downward dog. If in order to keep that left hip forward, that right hip is way off the floor, grab a block, place it underneath of your right hip. Wherever you are, lift nice and tall. And then walk yourself forward over the front leg. Let your head be supported on something, a block, a blanket, the mat. And just take a second, sink into this hip opener. If for any reason this does not feel comfortable, especially if it doesn't feel comfortable in the knee, take the reclined position. You're going to lay all the way down on your back. Take your right ankle, cross it over your left knee. Reach down, hold onto the left hamstring and pull it into you. Just make your life a little bit simpler if the other one is a little too complicated or uncomfortable. Either way, we're stretching the same part of that hip. Relax the shoulders. Breathe into the low back as deeply as you can. From wherever you are, gently come up to a seat. You're going to take your back leg, your left leg, swing it around in front of you, and step it to the outside of the right thigh. From the front, it's going to look like this. If that left hip is lifted off the mat really high, straighten the bottom leg, and it'll come right down. Wherever you are, you're going to lift your right arm high. Exhale, take it outside of that left leg and twist. Sitting up nice and tall, draw the belly in, spiral around. It feels nice to twist after all of that back bending. Take both of your hands over to the right side of your mat. Let your head go, taking the counter stretch. Just let the head drop, the shoulders soften. Come back up. Carry your legs around behind you, back to downward dog vinyasa if you would like as you get there. From downward dog, lift your left leg up. Keep lifting as the hips open, keep pressing back and then bend that knee. Either stay where you are or come to the left fingertips, look underneath the left armpit and press back even more. Or go ahead, flip all the way over for rock star. Flipping all the way upside down, hips roll to the ceiling, reach long through the left arm. Three-legged downward dog, bring your hand to the floor. Left leg lifts behind you. And then come forward, knee to nose. Pigeon pose, open the left knee wider than the left wrist. Right mid-thigh on the floor. So if you're on the inner thigh, you need to roll over to the right a little bit more so that hip points straight down. If the left hip doesn't reach the ground, bring a block right underneath of it to sit on. Open your chest. And then walk yourself forward, folding over the front leg. If you're opting for the reclined position, swing your back leg around. Come down onto your back. Reclined pigeon pose, the left ankle crosses over the right wrist. Reach down, holding onto the right hamstring, pull it in towards you. The purpose here is to roll the left knee away from you. The right knee is pulling in towards that right shoulder. You're breathing deep and feeling a stretch in that outer left hip. Gently walk yourself up. Coming to a seat. Right leg crosses outside of the left leg. Sit up nice and tall. If you need to straighten the bottom leg, then feel free to straighten it so that that right hip comes back down onto the floor. Lift your left arm, reach up. Exhale, twist all the way around. Keeping your shoulders stacked right on top of your hips. You're not leaning in any direction, but you're really vertical. Draw the navel in, spiral around. And gently unwind. Both hands come to the floor, over to the left, let your head go. And this time you're just going to come straight forward. Plant your feet onto the mat, knees to the ceiling, reach your arms forward. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, scoop your belly out, roll all the way down onto your back. One vertebrae at a time, nice and controlled from the core. Once you land, slide your feet in closer so you can reach down and tickle your heels with your fingertips. They're right there. Feet are hip distance apart, about 6 inches. Press down through the feet, lift your hips to the ceiling for bridge pose. Now we're going to take 2 back bends here. If you're done back bending and you would like a more restful position, you're going to take supported bridge. You're going to take one of your blocks, either on the lowest or the medium height. You're going to bring it down right underneath of your tailbone, the lowest part of your spine. You're going to rest your hips on the block, and you're going to spend the time that we spend doing the next couple back bends just right here. It's a great restorative lengthener for the low back and for the hips. So that's an option. Another option is that you've already been up in this supported bridge or unsupported bridge for a while. So go ahead and roll down. Let your knees drop side to side. Now, if you're on your block, you're staying where you are. If you are coming back to regular bridge pose, then once again, make sure the heels are close. Press down through the feet, lift up through the hips. You can stay here. You can walk your arms together, interlace your fingers underneath of you, or bring your hands by your shoulders. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lifting up into Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose or full wheel, you're going to lift all the way up through the arms. You're going to take about 3 to 5 breaths wherever you are, lengthening the tailbone towards the heels. Breathing deep into the chest, feeling the throat open. Gently come all the way down. If you're on the block, lift off of it, slide it out to the side, roll down onto your back. We'll all hug our knees into our chest. Gently rock your back from side to side. Allow both of your knees to drop over to the left. Open your chest to the right, taking a gentle twist. Starting to slow down. Feel the body unraveling. Bring the knees through the center. And drop your knees over to the right. Open the chest to the left. Feel the weight of the left shoulder, the length through the left arm. And bring your knees back through the center. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a nice squeeze around. Draw the belly down. Lift your forehead up towards your knees. Now we're coming into Shavasana, our final resting pose. You're welcome to take traditional Shavasana, stretching your legs long, opening the arms by the side, and just relaxing here. If you would like to end class the way that we began, then you're welcome to come into that supported fish pose. One block on the lowest height, that will be under your shoulder blades. Another block will be on the second height, that will catch your head. Gently make your way down into this pose. This is how you're ending. Set yourself up in a place where you can just be still. Wherever you are, open your arms by your sides. Wherever you are, roll the collarbones wide. Wherever you are, take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, let it go. Give yourself a few moments of still. A few moments of quiet. A few moments to allow the body to reap the benefits of your efforts. A few moments to reflect, to let go. To just breathe. Shavasana. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently bend one knee and then the other. And we're going to roll to the right side of your body. If you're on the blocks, be gentle as you roll off the blocks. Catching yourself in the fetal position, take a moment. With your eyes closed and as little effort as possible, come all the way around to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Lengthen the spine and soften your shoulders. Lower your chin to your chest. A moment of gratitude to yourself for everything that you do and all that you are. The light within me acknowledges and reflects the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys for your work in the practice today. I apologize it was broken up into two. I had a little technical misfunction. But I hope that you feel great. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next week.